And welcome back to the Parramatta Stadium. Nissan 7's grand final time, live here on Network 10 Sports Action. And we see Benny Elias and Hugh McGann tossing the coin. Captains of Balmain and East respectively. Mick Stone controlling the game tonight. Both sides would be very, very tired because they were engaged in terrific semi-finals here. But they've had a good break. This is it. This is the grand final of the Nissan 7's. $60,000 to the winner, $16,000 to the runner-up. Who will it be? Balmain or East? Crowd is abuzz. We've had a big crowd here all day that really enjoyed the football. This will be no exception. Mick Stone blows time on, and we're underway. 10 minutes each way. The grand final of the Nissan 7's. Balmain in possession, about 18 metres out from their own line. We have seen some sensational football here today. Fast, open rugby league, that's what 7's football is all about, and that's what we've got today. And mixed in with that fast, open stuff, by gee, there have been some rugged hits as well. Now here's Elias, down the blind side. He does that almost every time, and look at that for a hit. Great hit. That was French. And French has to turn around and chase this football and retrieve this kick. No rest here in 7's football. French pull down by Chalmers, just short of the Eastern Suburbs quarter. Salvatore. He's caught by O'Brien. And he's French again. Up the middle. Might be your first look at Paul Mayers in the Eastern Suburbs jumper. That was a pass away to Terrell and then on to French again. Sirenen there to stop his progress. Oh, there's a gap. There's a gap away from Melrose. Melrose to the corner line. Is there support? There was none there for him that time. And Melrose is forced to play the ball only about 12 metres out from the Balmain line. Cruella got it away to Mayers. And then it went to McGann. There's an overlap if they can move the football. And it is. They don't have to. They're in to score. Salvatore in to score for Eastern Suburbs. The overlap was there. They didn't need it.
Well, have a look at this. This is good stuff. And let me just point out one of the better players on the football field is that man, Hugh McGann, who's been able to distribute the ball beautifully this afternoon. He's back from a knee reconstruction. It hasn't affected his form or his durability. He's run beautifully today and timed his passes. Salvatore scored a very good try.
And just repeating for you that conversion attempts are by means of a drop goal. Speeds things up, and there it is. And there it is right between the posts. Only one touch judge needs to officiate. All the players are already back at halfway. So East have the early lead, 6 points to nothing. We're underway with a tap restart. Sirenen. Now Elias shapes the kick. Turns it back inside for O'Brien, and he's away. Balmain returns straight away to score. And O'Brien is in. No try. Can you believe that?
Well, we'll watch this again on the replay because this is a critical decision. Now, this was brought about by the fact he was trying to bring the ball around and he slammed the ball down hard. It did appear to me to be a correct try, but we'll see it again from another angle. Watch him come round slowly there, and I believe he got the ball down.
Oh, tough decision. Mick Stone took the decision the way he saw it. I'll be talking about that one, particularly if Balmain end up behind the 8 ball at full time. Now, Eastern Suburbs straight away back into the swing of things. As McGann pops one up for Truella. Now it's across for Mayers. Sirenen's got him, but the pass has gone back inside for Salvatore. Right on the halfway mark. 6-0. Eastern Suburbs lead Balmain. That pass is knocked down by Sirenen. Tackle count restarts. Salvatore will play it just inside Balmain territory. Truella dummy half. Here comes McGann down the blind side. Trying to link up with French. French pulls it in. But it's thrown over the touchline.
Yeah, it's a very important tackle there from Chalmers to get the big fella French over the sideline. Just watch, it goes very, very close. You can see the foot was hanging over the line, so the touch judge right on the spot had to rule on it.
Mears and Sheeran have been called up on the touch judge's report. I don't suppose the players will mind this all that much. Russell Fairfax, the Eastern Suburbs coach, ponders.
Well, I think the big fellas are starting to just feel the pinch a bit, and when you feel the pinch, there's only one way to go, and that's to do a bit of retaliation, I guess.
At least I suppose a caution gives you a breather, doesn't it?
It's good to see Paul Mears back in the football cover again.
Eastern Suburbs come up with the scrum win. French got a pass away to McGann. McGann's got O'Brien clinging to him, and Hardwick comes in over the top. 6-0, Eastern Suburbs over Balmain. That little knock-on has brought this scrum about. Worked by Freeman. Chalmers has it. French has Chalmers. Over the touchline he goes on the first tackle.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb football. I mean, really, he's got no right to go anywhere near the damn sideline. A very good way of finding out that he doesn't have any right to do it is to ask his forwards. They'd be absolutely livid with him.
Balmain have held the ball for 6 tackles so far, each for 12. It's an Eastern Suburbs ball as McGann got it away to French. A long looping pass out there for Silva. Silva set sail for the line and pulled down 5 metres short.
Great tackle, Freeman.
Freeman coming across in cover, magnificent. Now here comes McGann, very close to the line. Can he get the ball down? No, he can't. Right on the Balmain line, Eastern Suburbs searching for this try. Melrose goes to dummy half. It's to Silva. Silva has lost it behind him, said the referee. Crowd didn't agree with it. Mears has got it. Serves out a short pass to Corella, French, and French will score.
Yeah, it's a very good example, holding the ball back and forcing somebody to come into you under the defenders. Watch this, Cruella away to Mears. Mears runs to the gap, holds the ball there. Now watch Cruella. He holds it for the last split second, gives it on to French, and French goes in for a very, very simple try. Again from head on, Cruella away to Mears. He looks for Cruella to come around him. Cruella does exactly that. And then it goes on to French, and French goes straight through the gap under the urging of Salvatore, who was in the background saying, go, go, go.
10-0 is the score. East over Balmain. This conversion attempt from Melrose. And it's a low trajectory one which goes under the post. Score remains 10 points to 0. East over Balmain. Restart again. Elias takes the tap, gives it away to Freeman. Now Paul Sirinen. Here's Hardwick. Well, Balmain, Bill Anderson on the sideline. Balmain do look a little tired after that semi-final.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, and I thought that they'd come into the side fresher. Eastern Suburbs, of course, in their semi against West went into extra time.
Look at this chase for the football here. French and Chalmers. And, well, Chalmers was appealing that he was held back. Referee didn't see it that way. In the meantime, French has taken the knock and very slow to get to his feet. Blindside comes Melrose. Almost up to the corner line. Salvatore caught by Hardwick. Cruella away to McGann. Back inside for Melrose. Linking up with French, who gave it back to Salvatore. Elias in there with Hardwick to make the tackle. Ball's been knocked down by Elias. And Elias falls on it. Play on, said the referee. Hardwick. Caught by Mears. Now here's Elias. Getting it out. Oh, beautifully. It's to James Grant. James Grant in under the post. Great try. What a competition he's had.
Indeed, he scored some of the most spectacular tries we've seen. Now watch him come off his right foot back on the inside. It's a beautiful try. That really is the balanced run of a very, very fine athlete, let alone a good footballer. He's going to be a sensation in rugby league once he settles in.
That kick was successful from Benny Elias. So Balmain get back into it. It's 10 points to 6, East over Balmain. And of course the Tigers have one of the best players of 7's football sitting on the bench. Reese, I should say Papworth, Brett Papworth, but unfortunately for Papworth, he has a suspected broken arm. There he is there. Dear oh dear, I hope that's not the case. He had a horror start last year with injuries for rugby league. Now Salvatore bringing the football up. McGahn on the blind side. He could switch the point of attack, but the defence won't release his arms. Tuella. Away to Melrose. To the quarter line. Now Truella from dummy half. Back to McGahn. To Salvatore. A pass that was meant for French that went behind him and over the touchline. Seconds remaining in this first half. In fact, I doubt they'll get this scrum down. Well, he's going to put the scrum down as the siren sounds. O'Brien puts a horror of a kick through that's come off the side of his boot. Silver's out there for East to try to pick it up, and he's made a mess of it over the touchline. So that's half time with Eastern Suburbs 10 leading Balmain 6. We'll be back here at the Parramatta Stadium for more Nissan 7's in just a minute.
In the final of the Nissan 7's from the Parramatta Stadium, Balmain and East, they're currently enjoying a very short break behind me. One man not out there with the Balmain Tigers is Wayne Pearce. Here he is with Bill Anderson.
Thanks, Graham. Well, Wayne, Balmain obviously have had a good preparation for the 7's.
Well, we're fortunate that we've got a couple of rugby union guys in the club, James Grant and Matt Parrish, who are giving us a few tips. And James Grant in particular, I thought has been the highlight, or been the key player of the whole competition.
I always knew that 7's was going to be fast and furious and very open, but it's been tough as well tonight.
It has been tough, but I think the hardest part about a competition such as this, a knockout competition, is the cooling down and warming up between matches. You play, well, this is the fourth game our guys have played, so they've had time in between three matches to fill in, cool down, and then try and re-warm up. So I'm surprised that there's not more injuries. Fortunately, from our point of view, there hasn't been that many.
Is it hard for players to have to relearn a whole new set of rules?
It is actually, yeah. That was the hardest part from our point of view at training, was guys didn't know exactly what to expect, and after the first couple of games, they started getting the hang of it, and I think this last 10 minutes we might come home a little bit stronger. Okay, thanks, Wayne. We'll go back to Graham Hughes for some highlights. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Bill Anderson. Well, we're only a few moments away, 10 minutes away, in fact, from finding out whether the Balmain side standing behind me is $60,000 richer or Eastern Suburbs. Ian Maurice, who's it going to be?
Oh, gee, Graham, you asked me some tough questions, don't you? I don't know. I slightly lean towards Eastern Suburbs, I feel, but there's nothing in it. I mean, the way these fellas have played these matches today, it's just, you just can't pick a winner. All logic is thrown out the window because there's so many gaps appear, and the rugby union influence is obvious, as Wayne Pearce pointed out, with the Balmain side. The James Grant has just had a wonderful day today. He's certainly an exciting player to watch. And Eastern Suburbs, of course, we mentioned that Brett Papworth at least have Papworth on the bench with a suspected broken arm, but his influence has been obvious when he was out there. They're coached by a former rugby union great in Russell Fairfax, who's already still giving instructions out there. They've got Tony Melrose, rugby union player.
It shouldn't be forgotten, Ian, that in both sides, Eastern Suburbs have one of the most outstanding men in the 7's competition in Hugh McGahn, and Balmain conversely have one of the most outstanding backs in that's the young fella Grant, who's the changeover from rugby union. Each one of those two is worthy of a Man of the Match award in my view. Hugh McGahn for his ball distribution and his ability to keep going, and the wonderful timing of good passes, and James Grant for just incredibly good football and pace.
Okay, we're underway with the second half now, and Balmain kicking off, and that's a good kick-off, but beautifully taken as well. Oh, gee, that was a great take from French. Really pulled that ball in well. Now McGahn, 10 metres from halfway. Pace hasn't slackened at all. Here's Mears. Showing no discomfort with his knee, which is a good sign. Back to Silver. Across field, there's McGahn. McGahn running strongly, got a good pass away to Salvatore. Shakes to kick. It will run it. French has got it. He's got support from Mears, but that pass has been real forward. Well, Silver was away like a greyhound, but referee Stone calling it back for a forward pass.
Yes, well, he was in a good position to see that. He was directly infield. Watch it on the line. He gave the pass one side of that line, and the pass was taken on the other side of the line, so it had to go forward maybe a foot.
Freeman works the scrum. O'Brien found James Grant. Into the clear goes Grant. Up towards the corner line. He's got support from Chalmers. Chalmers has the football. Can they catch him? Yes. Oh, great tackle. Beautiful tackle from Silver.
He's been told to play the ball. He wanted to get up and run again.
Well, he didn't. He played it. Now he's got the football again, Chalmers. Can he reach the line this time? How close is that? Oh, great stuff here. Chalmers, inches from the line. Now the Tigers with Hardwick jigging around. They've got an overlap if they swing it to the right, and O'Brien's gone back the other way. Elias desperately calling for the ball on the right-hand side. If the kick is up in the air, at East have it. And Balmain will get the penalty.
Yes, that's going to be a penalty for claiming Grant after he'd kicked the football. There he was. True did a little bit of a head job on him. It wasn't a serious head-high tackle, but it was enough to slow him down and stop him going after the ball.
Well, Elias was screaming for the football on the right-hand side. 10 points to 6 is the score. East over Balmain. Hardwick straight into the defence. Desperately close. Siren and Bell scoop up the football, but it went forward.
Yes, I don't think there's any doubt about that decision either. Benny Elias trying to get the pass away, but as he was hit, you'll watch the ball roll forward. And there it goes. Just barely forward, but forward enough for the referee to see.
Melrose works the scrum right in the goal mouth. McGann got quick hands. Oh, got a good pass this time though. Silver lost it, and so did Balmain. Melrose has picked it up. Can he get out in the field of play? No, he can't. Oh, that was a comedy of errors then.
Yes, indeed it was, because the ball was lost there by Silver, and then it was attempted to be picked up, and it was knocked on, rolled on, fallen on, and everybody had a go at it.
So Melrose again works the scrum, only metres from the line. Slippery Morris into the game. It was him playing the football before. Now Salvatore. McGann up to the corner line. Mears crossfield, trying to link up with his winger. Just outside the corner. Morris, Slippery Morris, able to keep the ball alive with a pass to Salvatore. Slippery Morris into the game for Silver, but that's a horror of a pass that was meant for Morris. Over the touchline. Now, O'Brien can't get past Mears. There's 4 points in it. East over Balmain as Elias shows the ball either way. And here's a penalty to the Tigers.
And a comment. That was the occasion.
Yeah.
Benny Elias construed that Salvatore was not standing in front of him, was standing beside him, which was in effect correct. And then somebody must have doubted the referee's parentage from the eastern suburb side, and he's given him another penalty.
Another change in the Balmain side with Parrish on for O'Brien. Here's Hardwick. Elias. Down Surinam. Good tackle from Melrose. Surinam's able to play it forward. And get very close to the line. Is he almost? Oh, I thought he was in. So close to Surinam. Elias dummy half. Flings it to the right. Gone astray. Hardwick's picked up the dregs. And he's going to find himself in the clear. Gives it to James Grant. And the Tigers are in. Well, in fact, he pretended to put the ball down, then found a better position under the post.
Yes, that's a little bit of cluey football too, just to round off a very good night that he's had. Here's Hardwick coming away and gets a very nice pass to him. Now watch as he dummy puts the ball down. Dummies to put the ball down. He didn't touch the ground with it. And in he goes, another 10 metres and scores the try actually underneath the post, giving his kicker a much simpler kick. Plenty Elias for him has had another success. So the score now, I believe it's 12 to 10.
12 to 10. Balmain hit the front. Balmain hit the front. 2 from 2 for Benny Elias. McLean is on for Eastern Suburbs. And that's a horrible play the ball. And in fact, Balmain are going to get the penalty for holding on to the dummy half. Nick Neal, I see, is out there now for Balmain. Freeman is off. Ginger Mex is on. And the Tigers in front. Hardwick. Now Elias. Back to Neal. Neal pulled down just 30 metres out. Elias. Out there for Parrish. Pass back inside for Grant, but the pass was forward.
Yep. Little argument about that one. Very well positioned once again, but was also very obvious to the naked eye.
So this scrum is only about 30 metres out from the Eastern Suburbs line. Back from McLean. 12-10, just the 2 points in it. The Tigers clean to this lead now. Hall is out there for Alpha East. About 3 minutes of play, no, 2 minutes of play remaining. McLean picks up the loose ball. Russell Fairfax was feeling pretty happy 5 minutes ago. Not so now, but his side is still able to throw the football around. Up into Balmain territory, but into touch. Melrose is far from happy with that.
It's been rolled over. It's a penalty to the Eastern Suburbs side.
Well, Melrose is now smiling, and why not? Takes the quick tap. 35 out from the Balmain line. Morris. Things are getting pretty critical now for East if they want to get in the lead. Here's Torella. Torella from dummy half. Got a pass away to French. French has lost the football forward.
Yes, it was a near thing here, but the pass that came in was knocked backwards there by Hardwick, I believe it was, the Balmain defender, and it actually touched the corner flag, so a scrum will go down just outside the Balmain line.
At least should get the fee because it came off the Balmain player.
That's true.
They do, and it's gone with the fee, but they're going to have to do something mighty quick. Less than a minute to go. As Eastern Suburbs raid away. 12-10, the Tigers 2 points in front. Can they hang on? The tackle count restarts. McLean saw a gap out wide. McLean almost in. Oh, how close is this? Torella dummy half. A pass along the ground. McGann's got it. It's loose. Balmain have it. What Big Stone ruling here?
He's ruling there was a knock on both ways. That's what he's ruling. So we're going to have a scrum down. The forwards are just about exhausted. Neal's got it for Balmain and take away.
And only about 5 seconds of this game remaining. The Tigers have got it wrapped up now. They can't lose it. As Grant takes the tackle. And referee Stone hears the siren and blows full time. And Balmain win the Nissan 7's tournament. 12 points to 10. Balmain have beaten Eastern Suburbs. We'll take a break and be back here for the presentation in just a minute.